All right, friends. I don't think you guys can see me. I've never screen shared through Facebook before, but I will tell you that it is weird. No, you can't see me. That's so annoying. I even look so cute today. But anyway, you're going to have to just do it without seeing my face. I've got a couple of pieces of copy here that I was sent. I did not read these in advance, so you're going to be getting them with me, and I'm going to be giving my feedback in real time. This is exactly what it looks like to be my client, which, by the way, if you're not, you should be. I have one-on-one availability for this month. We spend the next 6 months together doing copy, doing content, doing marketing, working on your mindset, growing and scaling your business to multiple six figures. The investment is $12,000 for 6 months or $2,000 a month. And I do still have, if you're like, yes, I want to do this, I want to work with Brittany, money's tight, things are kind of weird. I have 2 scholarships still available. So if you think that you would be eligible for a 50% off scholarship, let's talk about it and make sure that we're a good fit to work together. And if you're like, no, I got this, I want to do this, I'm ready, I want to start having multiple 5-figure cash months, then let's talk about it. You can DM me, or I will put my Calendly link in the description, or no, not in the description, in the comments section later. And then if you're like, no, those both are too crazy, join the 10K formula. I'm in the middle. Like I said, I look so cute today. I wish you guys could see me. I'm in the middle of finishing the final re-recordings of the 10K formula. It's all about growing your audience, giving value to your audience, and then monetizing your audience and selling to them. And so we're doing content creation, we're doing marketing, we're doing offers, pricing, leveraging, raving fans from your audience, growing with the right people, being a heart and soul led entrepreneur, loving and leading first, being a real human being, and doing that to make 6 figures a year. All organically. I'm not an ads kind of girl. I'm an organic kind of girl. And just showing up and being yourself, being unapologetically you, being confident in yourself, and making the money you want to be making and having the lifestyle you want to have, especially as we enter summer. I always scale back in the summer because being with my kids is the vibe. That's what I want. That's what's important to me. And so that's $2,500 for an entire year. We meet every single week for 90 minutes as a group for hot seat coaching. Everybody gets what they come for. No one gets left out. This is so different than other coaches, group programs where there's a lot of people and the coach doesn't remember who you are or what's going on with you. This is very intimate. I spend a lot of time with everyone. I spend a lot of time in the Facebook group giving feedback and support and coaching and things like that. The community is very tight and very collaborative. Lots of the women in there have hired each other, been on each other's podcasts, been featured in the same magazines and articles, have spoken at each other's summits. It's just such a beautiful place. And if $2,500 right now is not in the cards, it's only $250 a month. And you're going to get AI Mastery for free. Everyone in 10K Formula gets AI Mastery for free. So this is just a little taste of what it looks like to work with me. And I thought about, should I use my chatbot to help these ladies? And I was like, no, because this is what I actually do. I actually get into it and I do it with you. So this is from Braun, and hers says, ditch high ticket treatments, time consuming talk therapy, and futile quests for answers from super expensive specialists who wouldn't know holistic medicine if they tripped over it. That is a really great, fun hook. I love they wouldn't know it if they tripped over it. Clutch your pearls. That's so good. There's a better way to navigate your health and wellness journey. Now you can get high-powered, revitalizing, reality-altering hit of self-directed holistic healing, development, and mastery, all for just $7 a month. This is where you lose me, Braun, because I'm I don't know what any of this means. I'm hoping you're going to tell me, but because we only have 6 seconds to grab someone's attention and hold it, I'm pointing at my screen. I feel a little bit lost. What do you mean a high-powered, revitalizing, reality-altering hit of holistic healing, development, and mastery? Can we be a little bit more specific here on what that might look like? Radically rewrite your story. This is a great prompt for you to elaborate on what that means. Like, be so specific and tell me what it looks like to rewrite your story. And so maybe it's a rags to riches story. Maybe it's like a Cinderella story. Maybe it's a sickness to health story, because you talk about health and wellness. So what is like, you even using the Cinderella story analogy, like maybe it's not like, 1 minute you're on your knees scrubbing the floors, the next minute a handsome prince is at your door asking you to put on a shoe. But like, what is that like Cinderella journey of, hey, you know what? I've been unhealthy. I've had sickness. I've missed out on milestones in my own life, in my children's lives. And now I'm doing this with Braun and it's so amazing and it's only $7 a month. Here's how this is manifesting in my life. I feel good. I'm healthier. I'm stronger. I have more stamina to play with my children. My sleep is better. My mood is better. I'm getting down and dirty with my husband again. Like all of those things that women actually truly want when they think about their desires. Rewire your body and mind for success. Again, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm going to rewire my body and my mind for success. Tell me. It sounds like this is part of your process. So what's your process? How are you going to rewire my body? How are you going to rewire my mind? How did my body and mind get wired in the first place? Not from shame or judgment, but identifying what has happened to them so that they can go, yep, that was me, and it's not my fault, right? And then going, hey, this is how we're going to do it a little bit differently. And like, what does success mean? You're talking about health and wellness, but I'm a business coach, so I like talking about money. So our versions of success are different. So what does your ideal client's version of success look like? And then you say, step into a soul-coded path that feels like coming home to a cozy, safe space where you know you are held, heard, seen, and supported. What is a soul-coded path? Like, I just have so many questions. And if I have questions, your readers and people that are consuming you, your consumers, also have questions about like what this means. I love the cozy, safe space. I would love some more imagery though, where I can really like see myself. Like, you say cozy safe space and my brain automatically starts to go, paint me that picture. I'm on a couch. I'm in a robe. I've got a hot cup of tea. The fireplace is roaring. My favorite TV show is on the TV. Like I'm binging. I've got my favorite cookies. My puppy is in my lap. Like, what is some imagery, some like tactile imagery, which it's so funny because I just finished a whole training on this in 10K before coming on here. We talk about tactile imagery, using that smell, sight, taste, sound, feeling, like use all of those to like really paint me into knowing that I'm heard and held and seen and supported, as you say. With Stars Collective, stars obviously the name of your thing. What does it stand for? You've got 2 R's here. With Star Collective is a brand new, super low cost, but super packed with value and tools for real rapid transformation membership for better mental health initiative. Introducing Neural Netflix. Oh, that is so cute. Super conscious streaming has landed. Get ready to transform your reality. I'm humming because that right there feels AI generated to me. Maybe it's not. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I tend to have a pretty good eye for these things. And listen, I love AI, so I'm not mad, okay? I don't give a shit if AI generated it. The reason that I feel like is the phrasing. Number 1, that rocket ship emoji. It's surefire AI. Anytime I get the rocket ship and the muscle, which sometimes I do use the flexing muscle, but that rocket ship and that flexing muscle, that is a giveaway for me. The GPT that I built and I was having everyone test, I was like, do not use emojis. This space is for you if, okay, can I jump in here? Ooh, yep. Okay, I see some more that feels AI. That's okay. That's okay. But I'm going to point it out to you. If you're going to use AI, that's fine. Like I said, I love AI. But let me point out to you where people feel that disconnect so you can just go in and tweak it so it feels like you again. Okay. So, number one, before I get into that, let's assume that everyone reading this, the space is already for them. It's not if, it's yes. So this space is for you. No if. It just is. We just believe with all of our beings, every grain of our fibers of our beings, it is for them. If they're reading this, they are a perfect person to be in neural Netflix. You're looking for a more, okay, here we go. This is where I start to notice that it may have some more AI. Again, it's fine. I'm going to tell you so you can adjust it. You're looking for a more affordable alternative to mental health management that takes a science-backed, trauma-informed approach with a complementary side of soul food and spirituality. Let's elaborate because I don't know what any of those things mean. Okay. Affordable alternative to mental health management, I don't want to do therapy. So we're looking to not spend so much money on therapy that probably didn't work for us. Immediately think of myself being inattentive ADHD and all of my clients and friends that are also inattentive ADHD. And not saying that inattentive ADHDers are your dream clients, but when we went to therapy, when we found out we had ADHD, because a lot of us have ADHD because of our trauma, and I personally also have PTSD. When I went to an ADHD and trauma-informed therapist, she really wanted to do talk therapy with me. And I am smart enough, well-versed enough, have done enough of my own development to go in there and go, here's my problem, here's where it comes from, here's what I've been working on to fix it. Like I therapized myself, okay? So she would just stare at me sitting on this couch and be like, so what's going on with you today? And I'd be like, well, I don't know, not much. And then she'd just like wait for me to start bringing up my own traumas, which then I would end up crying, of course, because here I am out loud reliving my traumas. And then she'd be like, all right, well, have a nice day. And then I'd get in my car and I'd cry the whole way home. And then I'd spend the whole day exhausted from crying and all the mental and emotional turmoil I put myself through. And then I had to like re-therapize myself to feel better. So like I just felt like $40 a session, which my insurance was covering most of it, so it would have been way more, is too much for me to go in there and walk out worse than I walked in. Worse being like, I'm crying, I've opened my wounds, and now I have to do it myself. What? So I stopped going because I really wanted something that was more hands-on. I wanted something tangible. Like I am a go-getter. I've done a lot of this work already myself. Give me homework. Give me books to read. Give me a podcast episode, a specific podcast episode to listen to. Give me something to do that's going to give me tools and resources to move through and continue to move through and manage my mental health. Okay. So when you're saying that, that's what you're saying. But like, let's paint the picture. A complementary side of soul food and spirituality. What is that? What exactly does that mean? What is soul food and spirituality? What are you going to give me? I want to know. You want sensible action steps to follow that move the needle on your mental health management forward. Yes, I do. Rapidly. Yes, I do. So you can see and feel tangible signs of transformation and change in all areas of your life. That semicolon tells me that AI wrote that. Now, I am a grammar freak. I love English. Like, I was great at English, literature. Give me all of the proper punctuations, but real people don't use them, unfortunately. I wish more of us did. I do. But AI has been taught by computers, but computers were taught by humans. And so, yes, it is grammatically correct to use that semicolon right there and then the other places that I see it. However, the average person is not using proper grammar in their content. They're just talking like they speak, and it comes out how it comes out. Often, my own social media, I end a paragraph without a period because I talk the way I speak. And so this is just a conscious train of thought. And so, like, just deleting that semicolon is enough to feel like you wrote it versus AI. Relationships, family, work, finances, all of it. Okay. Good. Yep, that's a good one. You want space where you get to choose, semicolon, delete, turn it into a comma, to be as open and engaged as you like, or as hermitish and private as you require. I swing between both, so no judgment here. Okay. I don't know if that's like a big selling feature to this program. I understand that you're trying to like get the point across that this is just like a safe space where you can be engaged or not. It's up to you. But I don't think that anyone's like, oh my goodness, a space where I can be engaged or be a hermit. Take my money. So a feature, a selling feature? No. A feature? Sure. You want to have the freedom and power to decide how often you come to the community gatherings and how much or little you choose to participate. I feel like this is like really encouraging people to pay and then not come. Like, lots of people will pay for things and just choose not to come. And it feels like you're just like giving them a pass. Like, hey, do you know what? You can pay me and then you can never show up. You can be a hermit. You don't have to do any of the work. You don't have to come to any of the gatherings. You don't even have to participate. Do we want those people? Is that the dream person that we want in your community? Sometimes, you know what? No judgment. Sometimes you just want someone to pay you and then never talk to you. You're just like, do you know what? I could use the money. I don't want to fucking talk to anybody. Pay me. But is your dream client someone that doesn't show up and doesn't participate? I feel like no. I understand the sentiment that you're trying to give of like, do you know what? There's no pressure here for you to show up and be or do anything that you're uncomfortable with, incapable of, or whatever. But I don't want to see you talking to the people that are like, do you know what? I just want fast results, rapid results, and I don't want to do any work for it. I know that's not what you're trying to say, but it maybe comes across a little bit. Like, is this your dream person? I just want you to make super sure. You want a way to better understand the process through your own stuff. Semicolon, delete, put in a comma. Take your power back over the past stories of trauma without spending countless dollars and hours of your time in talk therapy. Yes, but that's what we just talked about above. So you can maybe like tie those two together, or maybe like bring that bottom one up a little higher. Also, hold on. This is turning into a really long list. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 things in this list. It's way too many things in your list. Like 5 to 7 is kind of a sweet spot for like things like their desires or pain points and their desires. 5 to 7 is kind of a sweet spot. 10 is so many. And like, I feel like I'm reading a list. So they're going to feel like they're reading a list. So I would cull some of these. But I will continue reading them. You want the keys to create continual transformation and growth in your life, not just a one and done type deal where someone downloads special codes and you're still none the wiser as to how to manage your own mind and body. That one's kind of funny. You want self-mastery over your mental, physical, and emotional health. You no longer want to leave your destiny up to anyone else to dictate or decide for you. Tell us a story about that. That's a great piece of content of like how we have been conditioned to like give the authority to anyone and everyone outside of ourselves to tell us what our future looks like. You want the facilitator of such a space to be approachable and safe, preferably with an extensive history working with trauma and firsthand experience, example, CPTSD. So they're super thoughtful on how they oversee and manage the group dynamic. You want a mental health mentor, coach, counselor, trauma-informed therapist, all rolled into one convenient human package, semicolon, get rid of it, who can speak to your concerns through the lens of a truly holistic, biopsychosocial, spiritual perspective. Whoa. And as a channel and conduit for you to commune with higher consciousness all at once. Yes, I am that unicorn, and I'll be hosting live gatherings where we'll sit around the Zoom campfire as I answer health, wealth, relationship, personal, or professional questions. What? Now you've lost me, because this felt like it was mental health. At first it felt, because it said health and wellness, my brain went physical. We are talking diet, weight loss, water, sleep. But then as I kept going, we very much had mental health. Perfect. But now you're talking about wealth. Relationships can tie into personal health or mental health, but wealth and professional questions. Are you a money coach? Are you a business coach? Because now you've lost me. You just said you're a mental health coach, counselor, and trauma-informed therapist. And now you're saying, I can talk to you about wealth. And I'm thinking, okay, do you want to talk about my 401k? Do you want to talk about my retirement investments? Are you going to help me with my marketing and sales? I'm not saying you can't answer those questions, but that does not feel like it is the vein that you were going down. And it feels like you just try to catch everybody with that. Don't worry, we're going to talk about everything, anything and everything. I can do it all. Again, people hire me for business. I'm a business consultant. Primarily marketing and sales. Do you know how many conversations I've had about sex with my clients? Their sex lives with their husbands? How many times I've talked about children misbehaving, potential divorce, financial abuse, pregnancy? I don't market any of that stuff. People come to me because it's impacting their businesses. So of course we talk about these things, but I'm not saying, hey, is your sex life a little bit shitty? Let's talk about it. So I just want you to be clear on what you do, because right here, it got real gray for me really quick. I'm keeping this space simple with easy to access live mental health matters sessions. You can attend when and as required and ask questions in the background that I'll respond to in real time without anyone knowing you asked the question. Total privacy assured. Have you tried low-cost subscription services or memberships in the past but found them either A, less than helpful, or B, so confusing they created more chaos for you? I wouldn't even put that. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you could end before this, but I'll continue. That's because most of these services focus on one or the other delivery. You either get all the spiritual stuff without any science or evidence-based best practice, or all the evidence-based practice and research devoid of a hint of soul. Nothing but recorded material to try to making your way through without any support or so much support. This is really hard on my head to read. You're going to get this or this or this or this. Or so much support you feel swamped and overwhelmed. This membership is me pulling back the curtain on all the tried and tested practices and principles of the STAR trauma method we use with our clients, including do you have other coaches or therapists on your team? Because we just went to the universal hour and I thought it was just you. So now I have questions about who's there, including our carefully curated 7-step process to resolve trauma. And you know what? Since I'm pretty convinced that AI did this, I'm going to say AI also did that to you. It took you right out of it as the thing. And now all of a sudden it's this corporate we, right? Our 7-step process to resolve trauma so you can rewrite your story from a survival identity to thriving in your soul-coded success. What does that mean? I'll be personally guiding you through most monthly done with purpose practices designed to rewire your neural network of support in the new success identity we'll be creating through the pathway of self-mastery in 3 key areas. Belief, biology, and behavior equal your reality. Want a better way to navigate your health and wellness journey? Check out Star Collective's brand new super low cost but super packed with value and tools for real rapid transformation membership for better mental health initiative for just $7 a month. You talked about soul and spirituality multiple times, but you didn't actually mention it really a lot in like what you were selling to me and how you incorporate these things. I'd love to see more content that really talks about like your process and the tangible results, not the deliverables, the tangible results that they get when they join, because this is reading very coach speaky and like fluffy. Like slam my face against the desk with how specific you're being. Like call me the fuck out and like sell me on this thing, because I just read this whole thing and I'm sure you've written other pieces, but let's pretend that I'm a dream client. We can't rely on all of our other content to make one piece of content make sense, right? Like it needs to make sense every time we put something out. And I'm still not totally sure what I'm getting for $7 a month other than I feel like I need to read it again. A group that I don't have to show up in if I don't want to, and monthly practices. Who's the dream client here? Someone that has trauma, PTSD, you mentioned that you have it. So we've got a trauma person, any random human. Are we talking to women? Are we talking to mothers? Are we talking, you talk about work and finances. You talked about wealth and professional questions. So are we talking to entrepreneurs? Are we talking to career people? Like, who are we talking about? What is wrong that they want to get into this membership? And then what is going to go right for them when they go in this membership? Okay. Next person, Anna. Now, I asked Anna if she wrote this or if AI wrote this, because there it is again, that rocket ship. And she said, I had ChatGPT write it. Is that okay? And I said, it's okay if you don't mind me bringing it up. And she said, no, I don't mind you bringing it up. So I'm bringing it up. This is Anna's piece. Sorry, I'm just taking a little sip of coffee here. You guys can't see me because I don't have a fucking camera on when you screen share in Facebook. I hate it. I miss Zoom. All these emojis, there it is. There's the muscle. So she's got the rocket. She's got the muscle. Never fucking fails. ChatGPT always puts that shit. So we know that this was not written by her. And again, I could tell right away because it gave her this like hook one sentence, embrace your inner rebel to attract dream clients. So a lot of Anna's marketing is about like rebelling against, you know, what we're kind of taught and doing your own thing. But then it says, hey bosses. Well, number one, no one talks like that. I've never heard Anna say that in my life. Maybe she does, but if you don't say hey bosses, you're probably not going to say hey bosses in your content. And then straight into the question is just so bro marketery, right? So I can tell. Are you tired of feeling like you're just blending in with the crowd? It's time to shake things up and embrace your inner rebel. Shining star emoji. That doesn't mean anything, but hopefully it says more. At the Red Heel Boss, we believe this is again very bro markety, very corporate. We as entrepreneurs, like it's just you. You can say we if you have a business partner and a team and like people that are working for you, and it actually is we. But if it's you behind the screen and you doing all the content, all the sales pages, all the marketing, all the sales calls, all the coaching and consulting and whatever, you don't need to say we. It's just you. Like own the fact that you're the shit. You're doing all of it. So at the Red Heel Boss, I believe that the key to attracting your dream client is to be unapologetically you. Tell us more. What does that even mean? Give me an example. So many people say this, right? Be unapologetically you. I say it all the time. Okay, like I'm not immune to saying that, but you got to say, like, what does that mean? Maybe you come to calls from bed every day because that's where you like to be and you're the most confident when you're in bed, or you're the most comfortable when you're in bed. Maybe you're unapologetically you by singing and dancing. I sing all the time. I did a reel the other day of me singing because that's what I'm like behind the scenes. Like, I have ADHD. I have echolalia. Like, I'm working late because I'm a singer. I can't help it. I sing it all the time. Also, I don't know if you guys are on the same side of TikTok as me, but leave a little dirt under my pillow for the dirt man. I can't help it. I can't help it. So, like, unapologetically me, I'm going to sing. I'm going to sing. I'm going to make up songs. Maybe it's you want to wear a frog hat to go get groceries. Maybe you want to wear black lipstick. Maybe you want to talk about sex. Maybe you want to talk about ducks. I don't know. But like, give me an example. Be like, hey, do you know what? Unapologetically you rock that frog hat going to get your groceries because you think it's cute and you think you look cute. So you can just be yourself and you don't have to apologize for it. Maybe you want to wear clown makeup. Maybe you want to wear clown makeup. Okay, do it. Do it. Because your best people are going to be like, oh my God, she's wearing clown makeup. I'm here for it. She looks cute. She's a cute clown. I like her. So like, give me an example. Give me a crazy ass example of like how people are like holding back and not being fully themselves, right? Forget the cookie cutter strategies and one size fits all approaches. Okay. It's time to let your unique voice shine and stand out in the marketplace. See, there we go. I don't feel like we call it a marketplace. Sorry, girls. And guys and friends. Everyone's listening. I'm saying girls because I'm talking to the girls that sent me content. I don't feel like we say marketplace. If you say marketplace, I'm wrong. It's okay if I'm wrong. I never think that I'm like the smartest person on the planet. Okay. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Here's how you can start embracing your inner rebel. Define your unique brand voice. We have so many colons, but that's okay. What makes you different? What are your passions, values, and quirks? Your brand voice should reflect who you truly are, not who you think you should be. Okay, that's fair. Ditch the fear of judgment. It'd be fun if we could do some examples here again. Ditch the fear of judgment. Worrying about what others might think only holds you back. Embrace your authenticity and let go of fear. Your true tribe. Okay. I have to call for people to stop using tribe. Because yes, it was very, I used to use it. Okay, I'm not immune to fucking up. We used to use it all the time. It was very cool to say it in like 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Everyone was saying that. It is culturally insensitive, though, to use the word tribe. So I have not used the word tribe in a couple of years when I first heard that using that was culturally insensitive to people who actually use tribes. And you maybe think I'm an asshole for saying that and say, no, I'm going to use tribe. I don't give a fuck. That's fine. That's fine. That's entirely up to you. We're not saying super bad words when we say tribe, but it can be a little insensitive to people who are of indigenous cultures or things like that, especially where white people came in and colonized and kind of fucked up their whole community. So I don't use tribe. If you feel very passionately about using the word tribe, you go ahead. But if you're just kind of using it, and like I said, ChatGPT is trained by humans, and humans said tribe a lot in the last few years, maybe change it. Up to you, but I'm just putting it out there. Some people do find it insensitive. My husband is Aboriginal. He's not like from a reservation or anything. It is down his family line, but he is like Indigenous or Aboriginal. And so when we discovered that doing his ancestry, and he's got his little Indian card, I was like, whoa, okay, this feels inappropriate for me to use tribe because you're actually indigenous. So maybe I shouldn't say that. But okay, your true tribe will love you for who you are. True. Show up consistently. Consistency is key. Show up as your true self in every piece of content, every interaction, and every offer. This builds trust and attracts clients who resonate with your message. Exactly. Rebel against the norm. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. I just feel like nobody says that either. But maybe you do. Whether it's through your marketing, your services, or your brand messaging, take a stand and be bold. This is what sets you apart from the rest. Empower your audience. Your journey can inspire others. Share your story, your struggles, and your victories. Empower your audience to remember their own unique paths, and they will connect with you on a deeper level. Remember, the world doesn't need another copycat. It needs you. That's very true. The more you lean into your authentic self, the more you'll attract clients who are a perfect fit for you and your business. This doesn't feel like a call to action type of post, but okay. Ready to unleash your inner rebel and build a brand that attracts like a magnet? Let's do this. Oh, GPT, I love you. So, okay, if you want to put a call to action on this, like again, like I said to Braun, where she was like, if you're this, like, okay, let's just assume they are ready. Like, you are ready. So let's do this. But that's not a real call to action. And says, let's do this. And then we've got the muscle and emoji and a fire. So that's cool. If you wanted to actually have a real call to action, you want to invite people to work with you. So saying like, this is for you. And join this now, or book a call with me now because you're ready for XYZ. I feel like this was just a list of things. Educational. Okay, I'll say it's educational because we do have these points, which when I took it from the DM that she sent me, it kind of smushed it into this paragraph. But like, define your voice, ditch the judgment, show up consistently. These are really great tips. And I would totally use this as a really great educational piece of content. And then maybe if I was going to get people to engage in or interact. So Anna is in the 10K formula. I challenged them this month, which every month we do a sales challenge. Sometimes it's 5 days, but this month I was like, let's do 100 offers, 100 calls to action over the next 30 days, like who's in. This is a really great one to do a call to action where a lot of people are like, oh my God, 100 offers. I can't, it's too much. No, it's not, because it feels like it's too much if you think that you have to invite people to work with you 3 to 4 times a day. But you're not. You're inviting people to do lots of different things. Like, this is just a practice calls to action. So it could be, did I forget anything? Or like, which one are you focusing on right now? Or which one do you feel like you're struggling with the most? And I'll give you some advice in the comments. Or things like, get on my email list or listen to my podcast. Like, it doesn't have to be like working with you every time or like going to your checkout or booking a call with you, but like, practice asking people to participate in life with you. This would be a really good one to put a little call to action on the bottom and like really get conversations going. But it just felt very generic. It didn't feel like Anna wrote this, because she didn't. And that's not fitting, because the whole thing is like, be you, be yourself. The world needs you. And then because ChatGPT wrote it, she was stripped from the entire thing. Like, I didn't feel Anna's voice. I didn't feel her warmth. I didn't feel her brand. I didn't feel connected to her. And, you know, like I said, she's a client, so I do feel deeply connected to her. And like, I can hear her and I can't hear her here. So I think it was a great kickoff point, but I feel like this is definitely one of those things where it's like, oh, ChatGPT gave me a bad response, but it probably got bad prompts also. No offense to Anna. You really got to, there's a huge difference between like ChatGPT and like using the prompts and like Google. And we want to use it like we use Google, which is like as few words as humanly possible. And ChatGPT literally needs like an entire novella. Okay, so now we have Xerxes. She's amazing. She is a relationship coach. And so she sent me, one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself in your marriage and on your parenting journey is the gift of being a woman who has a healthy relationship with her emotions. All right. Not a woman who chooses to stay bound by her triggers and past emotional trauma, but a woman who chooses to consciously allow the path of her triggers to guide her into deeper understanding of herself and her power. Ooh, this feels deep. Prioritizing the relationship to her emotions. When the relationship you share with your emotions leads you to feel emotionally stressed, overwhelmed, unseen, or misunderstood, your relationship with your emotions is rooted within emotional survival, which indicates that when you desire to have peace in your home or a deeper connection with your husband that feels like you two are on the same team and appreciate one another, your relationship with your emotions will not support it. It won't support it because within your body, your nervous system is prepared to respond to triggers from a place of fear, pain, or fight or flight response. This is the reason no amount of tools in trying to parent your child the right way or using I statements or conflict resolution skills won't last long with you. Is because your nervous system, when triggered, is ready to respond from a place of defense. Okay, I need to pause and collect my thoughts. I'm more than halfway done her content. I feel like you're saying a lot while also not saying a lot. Like there's a lot of words coming at me. My brain feels slightly overwhelmed. I would like this to be written in a story style where you're giving me like real life examples. And like I say real life, they don't have to be like real from your life, but like give me a real example of like how I ended up in this state. Because again, like I said to the other girls, most of us are in this state. Millennial women, millennial moms, most of us especially, like we thought we were cool and then we had kids and then we're like, oh my God, I'm a mess. And like we're not responsible for that. What happened to us is responsible for that. But because we are like ambitious and high achieving and, you know, we want to do the work, we feel like it's our fault and we need to fix this, and we do need to fix it. But it's not our fault. So if you were telling me like a story of like being on the same page with my husband and like what happened, like what trigger happened that made me go into fear, pain, fight, or flight, right? So like maybe you and your husband, you know, you're having a good week and you're on the same page about the way that you're going to parent and discipline your child. And like your toddler decides, fuck supper, I don't like it, and flings the plate. Food goes all over the wall, all over the floor, all over you, all over the child. Yep. Okay. You are ready to snap because your nervous system just went whoop. And you're thinking, okay, I need to be calm here. Maybe you're able to try to be calm. Your husband freaks, right? He gets super triggered. He's mad. There's a huge mess. He's mad at the disrespect that your child just showed you and starts putting like big emotional control on a toddler, which a lot of parents do, right? That's why so many kids are like no contact with their parents nowadays, because our parents never taught us how to manage our emotions and made us responsible for their emotions, right? So it's a lot of like, I'm acting this way as the parent, as the adult, because you, as the child, couldn't regulate your emotions. And now I'm off the wall. And it's like, whoa, pause, pump the brakes. You need to regulate your emotions, there, adult, parent. You need to regulate your emotions and you need to teach the child how to regulate their emotions. I immediately think, oh, I don't know if you saw this woman on TikTok, but she was like scream crying in her toddler's face because he had been like losing her mind and she was just like at her breaking point and she was just like, "You're doing this to me." And she's on her knees and she's just like screaming and wailing. This poor child has his back against the couch and she's in front of him. His eyes are bugged out. He's got a soother in his mouth. He's just a baby. And he's like, what the fuck? He looks terrified. She records this. She ended up deleting it. She records this though. He looks terrified. And she's like, this is good parenting. I'm showing him my emotions. And it was like, everyone was like, no, you're abusing that child. He's not emotionally responsible for you. You are. It's up to you to not lose your shit. It's up to you to stay a united front with your partner. It's up to you to teach your children how to manage their emotions. And you can't do that if you haven't figured out how to manage your emotions. And it's not your fault. Nobody taught you. I'm going to teach you now. That's what working with me is all about, teaching you how to have the tools and resources to manage your emotions so that when things trigger you, they're less triggering, so that you can feel seen and heard and validated, and you're able to communicate in a healthy manner with your partner and with your child and as you move forward. So it, like just that story, right? Like we can all see the toddler with the little tray on and they're just like, no, fling. And the clang of the plate and the spaghetti on the walls. Like we can all picture that, right? And we can all feel that, like that tension in your body where you're like, fuck, like how do I gentle parent and how do I also discipline and be like, it's okay that you're feeling big emotions, but the way you just reacted is not okay. And then having the, to deal with yourself and deal with your partner, like painting that story, painting that image, we can all feel it, right? We can all feel that like, uh-oh, now what? Continuing with your content. It overrides your mind and takes over the situation. Yep, exactly. Leading you to feel offended by the smallest things that he says or does that's not in your control. Oh, let's tell a story about that. Let's tell a story about how our husband said he was going to do XYZ and he didn't because he forgot, and we took that forgetting personally. Maybe it was taking out the trash. Maybe it was making an appointment for your child because your child needs to go to the doctor and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to offload a little bit of the invisible workload and I'm going to ask my husband to call the doctor and book an appointment for my sick baby. And he forgot. It makes you want to kill him. It makes you want to strangle him. It makes you want to be like, this is why I have to fucking do everything. If you could see me, I'm raising my arms and shaking them, right? But we don't want to do that. We don't want to be a nagging wife and mother. We want to be emotionally healthy. We want to be able to communicate. We want to be able to look within. This is what she's saying, okay? To be an emotionally healthy mother and wife, you've got to be willing to look within and see your triggers as a blessing and an opportunity to see where the past is present so that we can grow from it. And you're able to do this when you experience an emotional reset. She's got those in capital letters, friends. So that means this is what she is selling us. By focusing on your nervous system and creating a healthy mind and body connection to support your emotional relationship so that you experience moments with your family for what they are, not what you're triggered to see them as. See them for what they are and not what you're triggered to see them as. Okay, let's go. I want you to ask yourself, when you're looking for solutions to change how you feel and handle your husband and child emotionally, are you trying to change because you don't like how you feel, or are you trying to change because you want to get to the root of the reason you respond to triggers as a threat to your existence? Those are really great questions. There's a way out of this, and it is through an emotional reset. Okay, now you're like, if you'd like to learn more, DM me, and I don't want you to do that yet. Because this is what women tend to do. We're like, beautiful story, and then I'm going to run away. Sell me right now. Because in the story, I see myself. I don't want to freak out. I don't want to freak out on my kid. I don't want to freak out on my husband. I don't want to freak out on my mom. Tell me what an emotional reset is. What is it? What does it look like? What are we going to do? What's your process? What's included? How much does it cost? Sell me on having an emotional reset. What is my end result when I have an emotional reset with you? If I just lost my shit because my kid flung a plate of spaghetti because he didn't want it, and I screamed and I said bad words and I was like, nope, you're not eating. You can eat later. And I'm on the floor cleaning up spaghetti sauce, crying, while my husband is also yelling and going off the walls. Tell me how I would have responded if I had had an emotional reset. Because it would look black and white. So tell me what it would have looked like. Tell me what it would have looked like to approach my husband and discover that he forgot to make an appointment for our kid. If I wasn't triggered and freaking the fuck out and trying to control everything, if I had had an emotional reset, how would I have approached that in a healthy way that did not cause a fight? Tell me that story. And then tell me to DM you. All right, final person, Stephanie. Because I'm screen sharing through Facebook, if you are commenting, I can't see fuck all. If you have questions, please, you can put them in the comments, or if I'm using your content specifically and you don't want to ask questions publicly, you're allowed to DM me. Of course, I'm not going to just leave you in the lurch. Here's my ideas. Okay, bye. Like, you can, of course, message me, and I'm happy to elaborate or whatever. Anyway. And again, friends, if you're listening and watching and whatever, this is what I do with my clients all the time. So again, I have private one-on-one availability starting this month for 6 months. I have 2 50% scholarships for those that are in need of financial aid. And I have the membership, which for so many of you using AI, get your ass in the membership or in AI Mastery, because using ChatGPT as a tool is an amazing, amazing, amazing resource to you. It's going to save you so much time. It spit that shit out in seconds. I know it did. But knowing how to actually build one that understands your copy and your content and your brand voice and how you speak and what you're selling to put out content that actually sounds like you, and understanding how to engineer prompts better so it gives you better content. Like, this is how we actually use it. This is how we actually use it well. So AI Mastery, we start July 1st. It's $497. It's 3 months. It is done with you. I'm going to build a new one while we do this for all of you that come in. So you're going to see me build it and feed it and do all of these things, and it's going to be fun. I'm going to help you build yours so that it is that amazing resource. I open mine every fucking day. Every day that I get at my computer, I open my email, I open Facebook, I open Kartra, I open ChatGPT. Like, it's right up there. And it's the top things that I open. So join right now. Like I said, it's only $497 for 3 whole months of done with you, but done with me. And it's always fun to be around me. And then, like I said, 10K Formula is getting it for free. So if you want to join and you also want a year of support with me, doing shit like this with you all the time, then just join the 10K Formula. Why wouldn't you? Okay. Stephanie says, in my last 3 years of business, I have made a lot of mistakes. Facepalm emoji. I'm not afraid to admit that because there's so much I have learned from the mistakes I have made. I think it's so tiny because it's not on Facebook. I think it's an emoji of a lady at a chalkboard, like a teacher. First off, if you're looking at leads as numbers or a numbers game, this really isn't going to work well for you anymore. And I found this out unintentionally. I feel like this is a better hook of like how I unintentionally discovered the secret to my business. Like, yes, tell me how you fell upon that. I want to know. While in survival mode running my business, instead of connections, leads became numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got really great at bringing a large number of leads into my business, but I was still not getting what I wanted. Conversion. Emoji of money flying away. You might be thinking, how? Shocked face emoji. Because I was lacking something really huge, connection with my audience, true, genuine connection. Emoji of a face with hearts around it. I even learned to use technology to my advantage to do this by using it to create this connection by sparkly star emoji, sending nurturing emails, connecting with my leads via text, taking notes on my leads so I remember the details about them and can truly be invested in serving them, making sure I never miss a chance to connect with my audience and serve them. I'll be teaching exactly how to use technology to create genuine connections with your audience to create and foster beautiful relationships with your audience in high-level system mastery. Praise hands emoji. Comment below to learn more. Okay. I want way more of the story here. Like, how did you find this out unintentionally? What were you doing? What was going on? I think there's also something to be said about, like, hey, do you know what? You might have a lot of people, like a lot of followers, a lot of people in your audience, whatever. Okay. You're not converting them. Here's why. Connection. Talk about, like, I know you're like, emails, text, notes, but talk about connection from the perspective of their clients. Like, you just gave me like a task list almost, like send emails, text them, take notes. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. As someone that would come to this, I don't care about sending nurturing emails. I have no desire to send texts. I don't want to add taking notes on my leads to my to-do list. I don't want to do any of this, right? What I do want is to convert my audience. So from that perspective of, hey, Britt, you have 92, almost 9,300 people here. I want to help you convert more of these people. Yeah, tell me how. The how is not emails and texts. Like, it is, but that's not what I want. Like, what is going to happen? Because like I said, all I'm seeing is this just looks like more work for me. I don't want to do more work. I'm busy enough. So do I have to write these nurturing emails? I'm already writing emails. Texting? Ew. I don't want to text. I don't want to text 9,300 people. I love you guys. I truly do. I don't want to text 9,300 people. What am I saying? Why are they texting me? Who's texting the people? Taking notes. Do you know what? When I was a stockbroker, the most annoying fucking thing was that I had to take notes on every client interaction. It was the bane of my existence. I would have rather poked my fucking eyeballs out than take notes on my client interactions. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, there's this really great spreadsheet that she's going to give me, and I have to input all of my leads, and then I have to write notes. Nope. Tell me how this technology is making my life easier, not harder. High-level system mastery. What's the technology? Tell me about how it's going to make my life easier and convert my audience with better, quality leads so that I can, be making more money and not be working more. Also, you're like, oh, I made a lot of mistakes. There's so much I've learned. Tell us what's going on. So, like, yes, you're like, okay, first, this is it. But then you never give us a second or a third or a fourth. Is this going to be a series where you are going to tell us more of the mistakes? Or is it just the one mistake where you were like, I was bringing in a lot of people and I wasn't converting them? Oof, this is the biggest mistake. I wasn't converting them because I wasn't connecting to them. And I wasn't connecting to them because I didn't know how. It felt like a lot of work. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to track them. And then I found high-level system mastery. And now I'm able to bring in the leads, connect with the leads, and convert them with ease. That's what I really want. Okay? So